Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. There's a whole series of sermons in that verse. Friends, Friday was Own Clothes Day at school for our little person. It's okay, there will be another one in a couple of weeks when Pudsey comes out to play, I'm sure. The children were encouraged to wear their own clothes to show that each person was different, and yet they were all accepted. What an enlightened way to look. All are welcome here was the refrain from the Book of the Week, which probably sounds very familiar to Methodist people amongst us. It's a lovely concept. It's a great way of getting the point home. But my guess is that for some parents and some carers, the idea didn't seem such a great idea when around 7:30 in the morning there was the discussion about precisely which clothes to put on, and the sort of deliberations continued as the pressure of the clock began to descend. Maybe one or two exasperated adults even heard themselves say, "But you can't go to school wearing that." Now, in that New Testament scripture this morning, there is a choice of clothes under discussion. Not physical garments, of course, but attitudes and character traits, qualities, viewpoints. Paul has been reminding the church about some of the unacceptable things people choose to wear in the world. It's quite frankly a horrible list. Sexual immorality, impurity, lust, evil desires, greed, anger, rage, malice, slander, filthy language. Paul says, now you're God's children, you can't go out into the world wearing that stuff. You can't go around dressed like that, not even in your own homes. No, instead, you've got to choose different clothes. You've got to choose the garments of grace. And he takes a few things out of the new look wardrobe and invites us to try them on for size. As God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with these: compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, patience, forgiveness, and love, which binds them all together like an overcoat. I wonder, friends, if for today you'll just let me focus on one of those words. They're all beautiful. They are all essential to a new way of seeing the world and a new way of considering one another in our COVID real world and in our economic maelstrom that's looming. But there is one word that just keeps on coming up, and I just think we need to spend some time with it today. And it's that glorious word, compassion. Clothe yourself with compassion. Or, I do sometimes wish we still use the King James Version, because there it says, put on, therefore, bowels of mercies. Compassion is a word that occurs in the Greek or the Hebrew forms around 120 times in the Bible. If it's okay with you, we're not going to do all 120 before lunch. It appears in all kinds of places, but taken as a whole, it has this feel of pity and mercy that is so deep down inside that it demands that something is done to make what is wrong right. It doesn't always come across like it, but in Scripture, compassion is a verb. It's a doing word. It is a rich word with a depth and a power that can change people's lives, that can reshape communities, which can renew fading hopes. So quite simply then this morning, where do we discover compassion in Scripture, and what does it do when we find it? I'm going to take you on a bit of a compassion mystery tour of the Bible to see what we can discover together. We can't catch every glorious view, but we might just be able to snap a few memorable pictures as we go by.